Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. The NBA season is underway, and I'm not gonna lie to you, after the games that I saw last night, the NBA is off to a wild start. We have to talk about it, so don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into the post-game recap. There's so much to talk about, so I think I'm just gonna start off with the Dallas Mavericks versus the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't really get to watch the whole entire game. I think I caught the fourth quarter, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was more so paying attention to the Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat, which we're gonna be talking about later. But Luka Doncic had himself a game. 49 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and hit one of the craziest shots that I have ever seen ever.
Who attacked the pass. Handoff back to Luka. Late in the shot clock. 4 seconds. Got it from Kleba. Again late in the clock. In desperation. He breaks it up. And that is Luka Magic right there.
I don't really have that many takeaways for the Dallas Mavericks, considering I didn't watch the whole entire game. But for the Brooklyn Nets, I want to start off by giving Ben Simmons his flowers, because a lot of people kind of wrote this man off. And a lot of people are still kind of writing him off, considering he's not shooting the way that they want him to shoot. Like back when he was in Philly, we're not going to be getting that Ben Simmons anymore. I pretty much came to the conclusion that we're going to be getting like a Draymond Green type role from Ben Simmons. He's not going to be really looking to score. He's going to be looking to get other guys open, like a Mikal Bridges, who didn't really have that good of a game. It's going to be getting guys like Spencer Dinwiddie going, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith going, guys like Cam Johnson when he comes back going, and most importantly, guys like Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas, he is the real deal. He had himself a game last night. 30 points. He actually hit the shot to tie the game before Luka Doncic hit that crazy ass shot. And it's not the first time that this man Cam Thomas has had this type of game. Last year, when the KD and Kyrie trade went down, he got some burn and he used every single minute to his advantage, because I think he had like 3 back-to-back 30-point games. Granted, most of them resulted in an L, and not gonna lie, every single time this man Cam Thomas scores 30 plus, it looks like it results in an L. I'm not gonna lie, but that is besides the point. Cam Thomas, amazing basketball player. There's one thing that I did see in this game that irritated me. Spencer Dinwiddie, man. Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm telling you, this man puts on a cape and mask and decides he wants to just save the team. It's not going to work, bro. You're not that guy. I'm gonna be honest, you're not that guy. I like Spencer Dinwiddie, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Spencer Dinwiddie. But when it comes down to that point, you give the ball to the guy who's been scoring the ball the whole entire game. You do not take, I'm telling you, he takes these threes and they're clinks. Like I'm telling you, they are bricks and it is nasty. But Dallas, they ended up getting the win. We got to go on to the next game, and we're going to talk about the Hawks versus Knicks for a second, because I got to talk about Trae Young. Trae Young is one of my favorite players in the league, but I have to call a spade a spade. I have to call it out when I see it. He looked bad. He looked bad for his second straight game in a row. And it's not like bad in the sense of, oh, it's just his shot selection. Number one, I saw at the end of the Charlotte Hornets game, I watched that game as well, and his body language looked terrible. It looked really bad. He was taking really bad shots. He shot 11% from the 3. I think he shot terrible from the 3 this game as well. And man, it's really hurting the team. That's the crazy part, is that it's come to a point where Trae Young and his shot selection is hurting the team drastically. Now, granted, it is only game 2, but this is what comes with Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? The bad shot selection needs to die. It has to die in order for this team to go places. But another guy that has to be better, Clint Capella. He completely, I'm just gonna put the clip up.
Ty with a 2 and Lee with a 3. Dre to the basket. Lobs. Capella missed it. I can't believe it. Wow. 2 at the rim.
The man completely sold the game. Now, here's the thing. I've been watching Trae Young for a very, very long time. Since Oklahoma, I've been watching Trae Young. When I see he has this look on his face at the end of the game when the game is tight, I know he wants the shot or he wants the ball in his hands. And I saw that look from him last night. I'm like, oh yeah, Trae Young, he wants it. Got the ball, right wing, drove straight to the basket. I thought he was going to put it up. He threw that up. Picture perfect oop. Picture perfect alley-oop for Clint Capella. This man drops it. He dropped it, bro. And that cost us the whole entire game. That could have tied the game up, and that could have swung the momentum into the Atlanta Hawks' favor. But foul Julius Randle. went to the line. The game's over. Now the Atlanta Hawks are 0-2. Trae Young, you need to play better. DeJounte Murray, you need to play better. Jalen Johnson, you've been hooping your ass off. AJ Griffin, you've been hooping your ass off. DeAndre Hunter as well, because I'm not going to leave him out. I cannot leave him out. But Trae Young, you have to play better, man, because this is not good. It's not looking good at all. As for the Knicks, Jalen Brunson had himself another game. His all-star campaign starts now. He will be a first-time all-star. Trust me when I say that. He needs more help than Julius Randle. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Julius Randle, he had himself a good game, almost recorded a triple-double. RJ Barrett, he has been looking nice throughout the first 2 games of the season. And I'm not gonna lie, the Knicks, they were hitting. RJ Barrett was hitting his threes. He went 3 for 5. Julius Randle, he went 3 for 7, 42% from the 3. Jalen Brunson himself shot 8 for 12 from the 3. That's because he's him, but we already know that. But the only person that wasn't hitting his threes was Immanuel Quickley, and there has been reports that Immanuel Quickley probably won't be on the team going into next year, or possibly even going into the trade deadline. So if you can try to move on from Immanuel Quickley, get a guy in that can help Jalen Brunson even more, because let's be honest, this is his team. We can see the New York Knicks do better than where I have them projected, which is 7. Now, let's talk about the 2 overtime games, and I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I just watched these games. Let's start off with the Rockets versus Spurs, because I personally think that this was one of the funnest games that I've watched so far this season. Victor Wembanyama, oh my man, put up 21 points, 12 rebounds, had himself some blocks. He was playing really good defense. There was this one time where Jabari Smith thought that this man was him. He thought he was him for a second. It was at the end of the game. He went up, transition, ran, saw Wembanyama down low, and tried to yam on that muff. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. Victor Wembanyama was right there, blocked that. Jabari Smith grabbed his own rebound, tried to put it back up. Wembanyama still there. Mink got his shit. It was really, really fun to watch this whole entire game. Alperen Şengün, he looked absolutely amazing. Dylan Brooks, there's one thing I need to say about him. His defense was great. Him in transition was great. Him getting down to the rack was great. But there's one thing that I need him to not do, and don't self-create. Don't self-create in the half court. That's not your game, bro. That's not your game. There's a Jalen Green on the team. There's a Fred VanVleet on the team. There's an Alperen Şengün on the team. And these 3 guys can all get their own bucket whenever they need to. So give them the ball. There should be no way, shape, or form where Dylan Brooks has the ball at the end of the shot clock. I'm going to be honest with you, because they have other guys on the team that could take that shot. To talk about the San Antonio Spurs real quick, Keldon Johnson looked great. Devin Vassell, there's a reason why I'm going to say that he's going to be a breakout player this season. I have a breakout players video coming next week. I don't know what time next week, but I'm going to be talking about one breakout player from every single team. That's what's coming next week, so stay tuned for that. And Devin Vassell, spoiler alert, is going to be for the Spurs because he looked great today, man. Cedi Osman looked amazing as well. I love watching Cedi Osman play for this team because he's gonna play his role, and he's gonna play his role right. Come out here, go in transition, and make your threes, and that's exactly what he did last night. He looked great. In the other overtime game, the Raptors, the Bulls. Now I need to talk about this game for a second because I'm gonna be honest with you, the Raptors suck. I said it. The Raptors are bad. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if you're a Raptors fan. The Raptors are bad. They started the game off 16-4, right? It was 16-4. They let the Bulls go on a 20-0 run. A 20-0 run. Next thing you know, in the second quarter, you think that they're going to try to, chip at that lead. You feel me? They didn't score for a good 8 long minutes. That's gross. Now, the game did end up coming over to overtime, and they did lose off of one possession. Alex Caruso, you're him. Let's be honest. But it was their main star getting ripped by Alex Caruso. Their main star had the last shot. Couldn't even get it off in time. He was being guarded by DeMar DeRozan. You're being guarded by DeRozan, bro. You gotta finish that. You gotta at least get a shot off. The team is bad. Now, there's people on the team that I like. I like Dennis Schroeder. I like Siakam. I like OG. I like Scotty. I like Gary Trent. They have guys that I like on the team, but the team as a collective is just not good. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to be honest. It's not going to go anywhere. And if they do end up making the playoffs this season, and I am wrong, I don't think that they're going to get past the first round. It's just not looking good for the Toronto Raptors. I'm going to continue saying it. I'm not going to be really watching this team as much until they start going into their full rebuild, which almost looks inevitable. These next 2 games are the games that I've watched the most. I want to start off with the OKC Thunder versus the Cavs, and Chet Holmgren. This man, his potential last night was showing. That man's potential was oozing last night. This man had 5 blocks in 1 half, ended the game with a double-double, 16 points, 13 rebounds, and had 7 blocks by the end of the night. This man, Chet Holmgren, bro, you're making me look good, bro. You might actually be Rookie of the Year this season. Nah, I'm not trying to overreact because it's only game 2. But if you continue playing like this, shit, you might as well be Rookie of the Year. Now, as for the Thunder as a whole, their offense looks so much better than what it was looking like last year. And I think that has something to do with Chet Holmgren, but I don't really think that it's mostly due to Chet Holmgren. Now, it makes it easier that he gets space the floor because they weren't really the best 3-point shooting team. But throughout these first 2 games, they're shooting the ball lights out. When they're hitting their shots, rest assured, their team is going to be so hard to beat. And this is the reason why I believe that they are going to be a 4th seed. Now, number 1, I think that their team is going to be able to stay healthy. The majority of the 82 games that were played, I think they're going to stay healthy. I think Shai's going to stay healthy. I think Chet's going to stay healthy, hopefully. J-Dub will probably stay healthy. Josh Giddey, he has shown that he could play majority of the 82 games. Case and Wallace, my favorite rookie. Now, I'm kind of, teetering between Anthony Black and Cason Wallace being my favorite rookie this season, but I think it's pretty much 1A, 1B at this point. Cason Wallace, apparently he can't miss a shot. He's only missed 1 shot in his whole entire career. So if you continue doing this, you might as well just be the best player of all time. But I think with the mixture of this team's driving ability, plus with their floor spacing that they now have with Chet Holmgren, this team's going to be extremely hard to beat. As for the Cleveland Cavaliers, we need to talk about them for a second. Now, they were missing Darius Garland. They were missing Jared Allen, but they were also missing a lot of threes last night. And I think Max Strus is the catalyst. Now, I'm not too fond of Max Strus, obviously, because of what he did to my Boston Celtics, but that's not really the reason why. I think that he is one of the more streaky shooters in the league, and he showed it last night. His first game as a Cleveland Cavalier, he had 25 points out the gate. Looking like a promising Cavalier career, right? Next game, 2 for 11, 3 for 14. Doesn't look good at all. And I cannot make this up. Now, he's shown that he can be hot and he can be cold with the blow of the wind. And it's nasty as hell because he showed it in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2022 when he missed 15 threes in a row. I hope that this right here isn't, a precedent that gets started with the Cleveland Cavaliers, because this team is obviously going to make the playoffs. Now with Max Strus and his inconsistent shooting, hopefully that doesn't carry over. But Donovan Mitchell, we got to talk about him. 43 points. He tried everything he could. I was able to catch the first half of this game and the end of this game. And when I turned it off after the first half was over, I think Donovan Mitchell had like 15 or something points. I come back and I'm looking at the stats. This man has 40 points. He comes down at the end of the game trying to cut the lead. Just easily just makes a bucket. I'm like, that was light work for him. 43 points. He looked great. Hopefully the Cavs can bounce back. But OKC, man, they're 2-0. They're 2-0. We're one step closer to an OKC playoff appearance once again. The Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat. Now, this is one of my favorite games that I've watched all season long. I know I just said that about the Spurs and the Rockets, but this one right here was relatively close throughout the whole entire game. Miami, they were firing on all cylinders, and they always have that one damn guy, undrafted, that's just gonna come in and hit shots for the Miami Heat. And that guy last night was Drew Smith. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest. I know he was on the team last year, but I didn't know who he was then. I don't know who he is now, but he showed me who he was. He hit a couple shots now. He got a couple defensive stops. He got a block. He was feeling himself. And then the Boston Celtics had to shut that shit down real damn quick. But I'm not gonna lie, I did like the effort from Drew Smith, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Every single time they shot the ball, they were scaring me. Tyler Hero looked real calm out there. He looked real poised, get into his spots, decision making, all there. Exactly the things that I've been saying about Tyler Hero for the whole entire offseason that people have been completely ignoring. He is a very good scorer, and I can't let it go unnoticed. The tandem with him and Bam, I've been talking about this 21-22 season. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson coming off of a Bam screen is absolutely elite. It scared me every single time because they were wide open. I still do think that the Miami Heat have a shot to be a 3rd seed, 4th seed, and make another deep postseason run this season because they always find themselves at that point, and they kind of showed it last night. As for my Boston Celtics, man, the undefeated streak lives on. Oh my God. What the actual fuck? As I was saying, that damn near threw my whole shit off. The Boston Celtics perfect season lives on. We're undefeated, 2-0. The Derek White All-Star campaign starts today. This man looked amazing, 28 points. Jason Tatum, he looked great as well in that second quarter. Now, he was kind of struggling in the first and the third, but he was firing on all cylinders in that second quarter. There was a time in this game, I believe this was the second quarter, when the Miami Heat were getting killed in the post by the Boston Celtics. There was a time, 3 consecutive plays in a row where Jason Tatum got that ball at the high post. Drew Smith was guarding him. They tried sending a double Jason Tatum every single time. Got to the left side, baseline, bucket every single time, and they couldn't stop it. We're gonna run it again, we're gonna run it again, and we're gonna run it again. It was amazing to watch because this Boston Celtics half-court offense looks so much better than what it was looking like last year. Like last year, it felt like everything was forced. It felt like we needed to drive and kick, we needed to end it with 3, we needed to move the ball. Now it feels like we could slow it down, give the ball to Tatum in the post, give the ball to Brown in the post, find a mismatch with KP, give him the ball. We could drive and kick. We can pass the ball, move the ball. There's so much that we can do on the offensive side of the basketball now in the half court that we weren't able to do last year. And I absolutely love it, man. I love watching this Boston Celtics team because it's not just chuck 3, chuck 3, chuck 3, chuck 3, chuck 3. It feels like they're way more calm. It feels like they're way more poised. It feels like they just know what to do on that side. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the filler portion of this post-game recap. These are the games that I did not watch or I just did not care about, but I might go back and watch some of these games because a lot of these games are pretty close. The Nuggets, they end up getting their second win of the season, 108-104 over the Grizzlies. They're now 0-2. What I have seen people say, the Grizzlies, they have looked well in both of these losses, so I might have to go back and watch some Grizzlies basketball, but I'm probably not going to do that, let's be honest. Another game that I'm not going to go back and watch, the Pistons, they ended up getting the win over the Charlotte Hornets. They won by 12, 111-99. Charlotte Hornets, they took their first L of the season, first of many. Pistons bounced back after the L that they took against the Miami Heat. They looked really good. Jalen Duren, 14-17. He's looking really, really promising. Paul George had 36 points in an L against the Utah Jazz. I did not see one clip of this game. The only thing I saw was Kawhi Leonard when he fell down to the ground after Russell Westbrook did something at the end of the game. I don't know what happened. Lauri Markkanen, 35-12 from him. Very good outing. Might have to go back and watch that, but let's be honest, I'm probably not going to. The Sacramento Kings took an L, sadly, against the Golden State Warriors. Now, I wanted to talk about this game, but I kind of, decided to go to bed after the game was looking like it was kind of out of reach. Steph Curry had 41. De'Aaron Fox had 39. I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch that. The Orlando Magic got the win over the Blazers, which I have been hearing that DeAndre Ayton has been looking pretty ass. But the Magic aren't ass. They're 2-0. Exactly what I want to see. Franz Wagner had 23 in the W. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A jam-packed Friday for basketball. A lot of things happened. And this video is long because of that. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'm out. Peace.